I really want to know this because I was very much impressed, and I really want to know this because I was very much impressed and pleased by this. Whenever guys would come up to me and try to dance or offer me a drink, and I said no thanks, they respectfully walked away. I know the bar is low, but that is a certified win. But there was this one really creepy moment in Rolly.
Gosh, here we go again.
I just can't explain this. There was some guy with arms crossed, standing right behind her, not swaying, not dancing or nothing, with his pelvis and his peen pressed forward against her butt, just. What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are finally doing it. We are finally doing the elusive clubbing in Korea vlog update 2025 post-COVID edition. I've had 2 weekends to experience the nightlife in Korea since COVID, and I decided to go out and vlog a little bit of it. So here's what I'm gonna do. At first I was gonna do like the clubbing part, like as a part 1 or part 2, and then talking about it like this in a part 1 or part 2. But I decided to just make it one video, make things simpler. But the thing is, on my Patreon, I'm gonna include the Itaewon footage and stuff. And on my Patreon, I'm also gonna have longer clips of it because there's a lot of music playing everywhere, and it's really easy to get copyrighted. If 7 seconds or more of audio is playing somewhere that's a song that is recognized, then it'll get copyright claimed. So yeah, at the end of this video, you guys will see some of the clubbing footage that I took in Hongdae last weekend. Me and the girls out, we went to get some food first, and then we went club hopping. And you can be there with us. But yeah, check out the Patreon if you want to see a longer clip of the clubbing scenes. Also, yesterday I just uploaded a story time on Patreon where a girl hooked up with a guy here, found out he was in a cult. You can't make this shit up. Fret not if you guys missed the story times. The very next video on my channel is going to be a story time. It is a story time about a girl who has a sweet Korean fiance, but his mom is racist. Dad seems lovely. Mom is difficult. So be on the lookout for that video in the next few days. So, for the OG viewers, I started my YouTube channel in 2018 and I moved to Korea in 2017. In 2017, I lived in Jeju, but I spent every weekend in Seoul. And many of my friends would always flock to Hongdae, specifically clubs like Sabotage or Go-Go's back in the day. Go-Go's is now called Onyx, so a lot has changed since the last time I was out here. So I'm just gonna tell you guys a bit about how Korea has changed, in my opinion, as far as clubbing goes, because in my opinion, I think it's a lot more opening to foreigners now, and I think they're less racist now against foreigners. So yeah, 2017, the first place I went clubbing to was in Daegu. That was during orientation. We had like one night out. One night we got off from learning how to teach, from learning a bit of Korean, from learning like the customs and the culture in this country to assimilate better.
Hey
you know,
y'all,
one night out.
happy
And everybody's like, oh,
New
this is
Year.
nothing. Wait till you get to Seoul. So fast forward to March of 2017. Finally got to see what nightlife was like in Seoul. First we went to Hongdae. Then we did a bit of Gangnam. And I didn't really start clubbing in Itaewon until 2018.
Hey
More on that
y'all.
in a second. So yeah,
Sorry about
Hongdae.
that.
As a young lady, I was like 23 back then. The way I'm used to the night scene, the nightlife going, as a girl, if you get to the clubs before midnight, you have a better chance of getting in for free. Guys, unfortunately, I usually always end up having to pay. It's like one of the few perks that there is to being a girl. You get in clubs for free. There's a lot more perks these days. More on that in a second. But yeah, back then, I remember, like, we used to spend the day out exploring Korea, having fun, because we only had the weekends to do this. So then we hurry up, try to get ready, try to make it to the clubs before midnight so we can get it for free. But usually, on average, I was perfectly accustomed to paying like 10,000 won, 5,000 won for entry at most clubs there. And then, a little bit later on, like around 2019, it got to the point where I noticed a lot of clubs...
Hi Lydia, thank you. I have yet to take my Christmas decorations down. Olivia, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, and when I remember seeing like Korean guy, Korean girl ahead of me go ahead, no problem.
I am just getting to take them down. I feel so tired
today.
today.
To give you is, well, the staff doesn't speak English, so sometimes it's a little more difficult, so we don't really want you in. But I've also heard stories and seen videos where they just flat out say, this is a club in Korea, why should it be filled with more foreigners? Like, there's too many foreigners here, come back on another night. And it's like, oh wow. The thing that I always found incredibly hilarious about that though, is the fact that when I first came to Korea, I had it in my mind I was gonna hear a lot of unfortunately still they play a lot of Drake. You starting to hear a lot more K-Dot though. It's always been like Western artists. It's always like a funny thing for me when they say, yeah, but no foreigners can come in. It's like, oh, that's an interesting take. So yeah, that was clubbing back then. I will say, like, with your 10,000 won admission, you will probably get like 1 free drink, and it was usually really watered down anyway. You can choose like 5 free shots with you and your friends. You can choose like 1 free cocktail from like their free drink menu. That's usually how it would go. You pay 10,000 won, you get 1 free drink. So then in 2018 is when finally, because don't get me wrong, home day was fun and everything. Home day is lit. I get why a lot of people like to go there, but you know, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and it starts to get repetitive after a while. So when 2018 came along and I moved from Jeju to Taean, I was a lot closer to Seoul. And when I would come up to Seoul, I had another group of friends who really liked to go to Itaewon more. There was a club that I used to love called Boom Bar. It's gone, and I am devastated because that was one of the few clubs that I've ever been to anywhere in Korea where you are not allowed to smoke inside. And my least favorite thing about clubbing in Korea, now even still, they smoke inside. So all of your belongings, my scarf hanging up there still smells like cigarette smoke. My coat smells like cigarette smoke. It's in my hair. It's in my bag. Like it's so frustrating because like the person will be standing right behind you just blowing their smoke everywhere. And Marika, hey girl, hey, she asked me like, is vaping more common over here? Nah, I feel like vaping is really popular and taken over everywhere. Like I know a lot of people in the States vape. I know a lot of people in London vape. I can't say all of the UK, but I know a lot of people, especially younger people, who prefer to vape now. In Korea, I've seen a few people vaping, but overwhelmingly, people still love smoking their cigarettes. Like a lot. So it is unfortunate because, literally last night, as soon as I got back in, well, this yesterday morning, technically, because I didn't get back in until like 6 a.m. yesterday, but I had to wash my hair. Like, that was like priority number 1. And that's why I'm filming a little bit later, because I just got around to straightening it today, so I'm losing daylight. But yeah, that is one thing. Boom Bar, you were not allowed to smoke inside, and they actually enforced it. I missed that club. R.I.P. Boom Bar used to be my favorite in Korea. Didn't survive COVID though, unfortunately. So yeah, in Itaewon in 2018, we used to go to places like Gold Bar. There was one called Compton. There was a Latin club, I think it was called like Bulldog or something. I haven't seen these around lately. I'm not sure if they're still around. There's one called Soap that we really wanted to check out, and I finally got to do that in 2019 because Dean went there in 2018 and I met him, but I went to sleep because I was tired after paragliding, so I missed that. But one thing I like about Itaewon over Home Day is I feel like the people there are a little bit more like mature, they're a little bit older, because Home Day is like Hongik Dehakyo, Hongik University, so it's like a lot of younger people, a lot of fuckboys, a lot of young college students. And even now, being 31, going to Home Day feels strange. It felt really weird. I mean, I don't look 31, and people are always, they're like, no, like, you're not 31. Like, everybody is so surprised when they find out I'm in my 30s. They're like, oh my God, I thought you were like, you go to my uni, like, you're so young. Fast forward to now. In Itaewon, on Friday, we met these 2 girls. They were really sweet. At first we were just gonna do karaoke and food, but I kind of could tell once we got there the environment was really lit. I was like, we might as well just make it a night out. Like I wanna see what Itaewon's like now after COVID and stuff. So we went to this place called Sombrero to get some. I had this giant quesadilla. It was so good. And we didn't even survive walking for like a minute before people were like trying to pull you into their club. That is one thing I've noticed that is really different about clubbing now versus clubbing then. People, the workers and recruiters, whatever you want, the people who work the door will pull you in. Like they're a lot more aggressive. They'll pull you. They'll be like, hey, and it's like an auction, right? It's like they're like, hey, we'll give you a free bottle. Hey, we'll give you some free shots. Hey, free entry. Hey, come on in. Hey, you want a free cocktail? Free bottles? You want another free bottle? It's so crazy. They really want you in their club. I went clubbing last weekend at Home Day, but 2 weekends ago on Home Day. Last weekend we did Itaewon and then Home Day again. I have not paid entry to get to a single club yet, and my arm was covered with stamps from getting into different clubs. We finally decided to go into this first place. It was called Mu or MU. I think that's what it was called. It was something lounge. I'm sorry. But we go inside and we go downstairs and we're the only ones in there. We're like, So then we go to get our free drink and then we're like, well, we'd be like dicks if we just left after our free drink, right? We might as well stay, liven it up a little bit, right? So we decided to buy a drink. It was like, you know what, this way we're at least giving them business. Like, we're not assholes just taking a free shot and then leaving. So it was kind of nice to be, and I did vlog some of that, so like the Patreon people, you'll see that. It was nice, nobody smoking because there's nobody in there, and we had all this room. It was actually nice, it was a vibe. And then people slowly started to come in, and there was these 2 really sweet girls. They both were like 22, and the song by Baby Monster called Sheesh, and I know the dance a little bit. Got them all going sheesh, 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 sheesh. So one of them came over and said, hey, hi, like, how do you know the K-pop dances? experiences. I was like, oh, like I watched the videos and I'm online and stuff. And then they said, oh, cool. Do you want champagne? And then
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
so then after that, they're like pouring champagne in our cups, and then they literally merged with our tables. Now it's 4 of us total, and we ended up staying with them for the rest of the night. Like they were really, I know we're telling names and ages, and they're like, oh, I'm 22, and Kayla's like, I'm 23, and I was like, I'm 31. They're like, I'm gonna get a little old for this though, but it's nice to update my experiences and update the archives of knowledge, I guess, before I talk with you guys about what it's like here in Korea as a foreigner. We went from that club, and then we went. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so sorry. I did not do a really good job of remembering the club names in Itaewon because we literally were just going out one and the other, like in a row. It wasn't like we had particular clubs in mind. Whereas in Hongdae, Kayla knows exactly where she wants to go. She's like, we're taking you to B1. We need to go to Mong's first. So with Itaewon, it was a lot of just going wherever was there. There was one place I remember that was called Mansion that I really liked because they actually played a good amount of K-pop. That was fun. And we got a free bottle in there too. We went to a pub that was right next to the MU place, and we got in for free. We got a free drink, and we just dancing. Like it was so much fun. There's something about Itaewon I do like more than Hongdae. Like I said, the people are a little bit older usually, and you have a more diverse range of people. Hongdae is a lot of like hip hop and a lot of hip hop younger students, younger people. Whereas Itaewon is a little bit of everything. Like there's jazz clubs there, there's hip hop, R&B, pop, EDM. Like there's a lot of Latin music. Like there was a Latin pub we went to called Agave. It's very diverse in Itaewon. I really do like it there. And for the girlies who are single, there's a lot more eye candy in my opinion in Itaewon. They're well dressed, they're not just in fuckboy attire like they usually are in Hongdae. A lot more chic, I'd say. Itaewon was lit. And it was funny because Kayla knows everybody. She's only been here like a month and everybody seems to know her. There was this really cute girl who came over with her boyfriend. And she kept telling me I look like Tinashe, and then she said I look like Rihanna, and I was like, I just look like every black person, that's cool. In my experience, like I've said this many times before, but I feel like Korean girls are already pretty bubbly, or at least in my interaction with them, but in the clubs, they are so freaking nice and sweet, and they want to take pictures, they're a lot more affectionate, they want to talk to you, oh, Instagram. Friday was a good night. It was actually something hilarious that happened to me on my way back here before we went out to Itaewon. This is kind of why we ended up going to Itaewon that night. I had a solo day of just walking around, so I went to the Gyeongbokgung Palace, and then I walked around,
finally got to take them down.
And then I wanted to see like City Hall a little bit. I felt like I was around a lot of old people, which was like the first time I was like, holy shit, I'm really starting to see what everyone's saying when they say, look, Korea's population is aging rapidly, and I was like, I need to be around younger people. So I literally walked from City Hall to Itaewon. And what's crazy is I forget that I'm here in a time of great political turmoil because walking up towards Itaewon, all I saw was pink wreaths that was said like Yoon Suk Yeol, where they're saying like congratulations, he's gone. Him not say, oh, stay strong, he'll be gone soon. I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot that this is going on right now. Like literally lined up as far as my eye could see. I saw pink wreaths just everywhere. It was crazy. So then I finally get to Itaewon and I was like, oh, it looks nice. Like, oh my god, maybe we should come out to Itaewon tonight. But anyway, yeah, I was coming back here before we went there, and I was at the bus stop. And these two kids, I say kids because they had to be like 14. It was a girl and a boy, and they came up to me, and I thought I was in their way of like looking at the map. I took a step back, and they're like, oh no, so I popped my earbuds out. She just said, may I have your Instagram? And I was like, huh? She was like, you are so pretty. Can I have your Instagram? So I just decided to show her on my phone. And then she goes, oh, or her friend, he said, oh, bring check up. And they're like, you are influencer? And that's another thing. I'm going to make a whole other video about that, but I really don't like being called an influencer. I never have. All this time when people are like, oh, you're an influencer. I'm like, please stop saying that. I just make YouTube videos. Anyway, so that was like the start of so many people asking for my Instagram that night. Her and him ended up following me later. And then when we got to Itaewon, those two girls we met, we ended up following each other. And then there was these two other girls, and one she's like a bodybuilder. Once we saw her page, and we were all the same age, because somehow she guessed Kayla's age. She's like, you're 23? She's like, wait, did I tell you my age? How'd you know how old I was? And she's like, wait, you really are 23? Oh, like she just guessed. When they said their age 31, I was like, oh, me too. And we're like, yeah, we're all 31. One thing that I think is really important to note about what I've noticed is different about clubbing in Itaewon now versus pre-pandemic times. After the Itaewon crowd crush, I can actually see visible measures to try to prevent that from happening again. Not only on the ground do they have like green lit dividers, like to show this side of traffic goes that way, that side of traffic goes that way. But they also have like these giant posts with a sign that'll say if it's crowded or not, like at different checkpoints, I guess, along the way, like of the busier clubby side, where it'll say crowded, not crowded, and there's like SOS buttons everywhere. They're really trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I think, and for me, that's pretty much Itaewon, because again, I only got to go to Itaewon once, but I did go to Hongdae twice, so let's switch over to Hongdae now. In Hongdae, like I said, before, back in the day, I started to notice a lot of clubs that said foreigners, no, sorry, language barrier, or they only charge foreigners, and everybody else gets to be for free. This time, that is not a thing. I never in my life had so many people try to get us into their club. Like, that blew my mind. I'm not used to that. Usually, if you show interest and stop and look maybe, or listen to the music, they might be like, hey, do you want to come in? Not only do they have a lot more foreign workers there, like, there's a lot of foreigners with badges that say staff. You just see the staff lit up going across on their torso. There's also a lot of people just trying to pull you in. They're like, hey, how many nemyeong? Like, if there's 4 girls, you get a free bottle at a lot of these different places, which, culture shock. So they say, oh, do you want to come in? Free shots, free bottles. And then even when you're trying to leave the club, they're like, do you guys want another bottle? Like, stay, we'll give you another bottle. So far, if I had to recommend a club in Hongdae, I would recommend Mom's. I would try to say, try to avoid the more crowded area, because like the first time we went, we were right in front of like the walkway area, so that was perfect. But the last 2 times we were on the side, and it's really crowded, so it's hard to dance without people constantly brushing by you and walking by you, and that gets really fucking annoying. One thing I will say, Korea, they still play a lot of the same music I remember from back in 2017, 2018, but it is updated a bit with, a lot of like, they finally played Not Like Us. They're playing a lot of music from GNX. They definitely updated it, but I guarantee you will absolutely hear Empire State of Mind, or New York. You will hear that I have never gone out clubbing in this country and not heard that song on one night. At least once you will hear that song. Oh, and Mumme by Jay Park. You will absolutely Mumme. Went to Onyx first because there's lockers. That's one thing that I really like. A lot of these clubs have lockers where you can store your coat and your belongings, and then you just pay like 5,000 won. Oh, actually, here's a tip that I would like to give you guys. One thing, so you can avoid all the long lines that inevitably form later, is if you go out a little bit earlier, around like 10:30, 11ish, before the crowd of people really start to come, go to the bars that you want to, the clubs, the bars that you want to go to, and collect your stamps. That way, when it's time to go in, when it's popping, all you gotta do is show at the door, and you can go right in without having to get in the lines. CC's tips. Actually, it's not my tip. This is what the girl showed me. But I'm sharing it with you. Yeah, so first we went to Onyx, then we went to Mong's, and that's why we got the bottle, got the cute little sparklers, and we were in the front. And the staff was really nice. They were super friendly. They were coming over and dancing with us and taking pictures with us. They were really nice. And as we were leaving, they said, oh, like, you guys want another bottle? Like, please don't go yet. But then we went to Aura 2. Then we went to Aura 2. And that's where they played a good bit of K-pop. So that was nice. They played a lot of BTS. They played Dope. They played I Need You. They played Supersonic. Supersonic. After being at Aura 2, we tried to go to... Oh, that's one thing. I did hear that there's a club called The Box that likes to charge foreigners. We didn't try to go. I don't know, but that's what I heard. So after that, we tried to get in line for another club, and they wanted us to pay. So they said, never mind. And we went to Sinkhole. And after Sinkhole, we went back to Mom's, I think? Onyx, and then back to Mom's. So that was the first night out. The second night out, Saturday, that just happened to pass by. We went to Onyx again to drop off coats and stuff in the locker. And then we went to Mom's and stayed there for a good bit. And honestly, again, I really wanted to stay. After that, we decided, they said, oh, it's time to show you B1. A Dart Lot B1. A Dart Lot kit. B1 was a little too crowded, like way too, towards the end of our time there, it literally started to get Itaewon crowd crushing, like people pushing you and pulling you from every direction. I felt my hair getting pulled like against other people. It was too much. It was way too much.
What's up, y'all?
Everybody was smoking. Like that is my least favorite thing about Nightlife. I cannot stand inhaling everyone's cigarette smoke. I hate it. I hate the smell of it. I hate knowing what it's doing to my lungs. I'm not a smoker. Don't make me one by proxy.
It's not very well ventilated down there.
For some reason on Saturday, every time when I was like, yo, it's time
I feel so
I'm ready to go to the next place.
tired
They play Kendrick
after
Lamar.
doing that.
They knew what they were
gonna switch the zipper out of this dress.
Rollies is the most ratchet club I've ever been in Korea. They were definitely playing a lot of like trap sounding hip hop that I am not familiar with at all. The one song that they played for the first like 40 minutes we were there that I knew was Glorilla. I'm that G-L-O-E, but you know about me. But after a while, like the playlist got a little better. They started to play Kendrick again, and they also did like old school. One thing that I did not like though is they went from playing They Not Like Us to playing R. Kelly. Certified level 1, certified pedophile. Like, why are y'all playing R. Kelly right now? Honestly, one of my favorite things to do, I like to just people watch. Like, I love watching people just be in their zone and dance. Like, there were, in Rolling in particular, there was this guy who I'm assuming was with his girlfriend. Like, they look cute together. He was getting his life. Like, he was I was like, are you like a trainee? Like, he was dancing really well. It wasn't like, you know, jumping around or doing a little two-step, a little Dougie. Like, he was moving. I was like, good, they good. Have you guys ever been to the clubs where they randomly throw napkins everywhere? Like when the beat drops or something?
Yeah.
Napkins just keep falling. Like
Yeah.
at Rolly, because we got like 2 or 3 bottles at Rolly, and for some reason the napkins when they're falling, they're like right now. I gotta cover my drink because like the napkins are about to fall in my drink again. And one thing I will say, because as you guys know, I have a boyfriend, and I really want to note this because I was very much impressed and pleased by this. Whenever guys would come up to me and try to dance or offer me a drink, and I said no thanks, they respectfully walked away. I know the bar is low, but that is a certified win. They would come up to me and say, do you have a boyfriend? And I'm like, yeah. And then they just walk away. Like they ask, oh my God. But there was this one really creepy moment in fucking Rolly.
Oh shit, here we go again.
There was 4 of us. 2 of us were drunk and 2 of us were not. I'm usually like mom in these situations. I don't really like to drink a lot. I drink enough to have a buzz, maintain the buzz, have a little fun, and be a little more giggly. But I don't like to not be aware of what's going on around me. So I never drink a lot. And I drink the most in the beginning of the night, and towards the end of the night is when I stop. I'll either drink some more water or I just chill, let the alcohol run its course. So this was the end of the night. This was like 5:30 in the morning. The other sober one was already in the bathroom. So I'm at the table with like the 2 friends who were drunk. And then one of the drunk friends needs to go. So I go with her and I ask the other drunk friend, are you okay?
Y'all, I did not comb my hair today. I am not feeling it.
She wasn't even really talking that much anymore. I go with her and then
I haven't been online in 20 days.
She heard us and she was like, yeah, I'm in here. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to go back out to check on the other friend.
That's bad.
I go back out there.
20 days.
Girl, she could not have been alone for more than 2 minutes. I just can't explain this. There was some guy with like a long white sleeve shirt, arms crossed, standing right behind her, not swaying, not dancing or nothing, with his pelvis and his peen pressed forward against her butt. Just what you say. Oh, that you only been This is my ex, right? He literally got his arm crossed. He's like this, leaning forward against my friend's butt, just like that.
Weirdo.
Not swaying, not trying to dance, not bumping. He's literally just like this. And my instinct was to push him, so that's what I did. I was just like, what the fuck? Ew, come off of me. And then he didn't even try to defend himself. I think he knew he was wrong. He just went, sorry, and then walked away. And I was like, girl. And she's like, what? I was like, you didn't feel that dude behind you? She's like, what guy? Because she's just in her phone. She's not here. She's in her phone. And I was like, there was just a dude behind you with his peen, his pelvis, his hips pressed against your butt. And she's like, wait, what? That's what I'm saying. You can't leave your drunk friend. You can't leave your girls alone. Like that's just girl code. That's just the rule.
Girls code,
But yeah,
yes.
other than that, the night was mostly peaceful. Where like a lot of people, like they would come up and be like, oh, okay, bye, sorry. There was a few who would kind of just come up and linger, even when we were like, no thanks, and they would kind of just stand in close proximity, not say anything, not try anything, but just kind of stand there like, where you come from? Anyway, all in all, I just want to make this video to update you guys on what it's like to club in Korea since COVID. Like a lot has changed. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses and clubs didn't survive the pandemic. There's a lot of new ones now, and I feel like because of that like tourist drought, because Korea's economy is still suffering from, not to get too political on y'all, but politics is relevant every single day. Every country around the world has inflation and is suffering from COVID. The US, thanks to the Biden administration, has done a better job than other countries at recovering from COVID. Like the UK is having it really hard, Canada's having it really hard, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of these countries are really struggling different. The U.S. is not special. It's not an outlier in that. The U.S. has it bad too. Korea's having it particularly hard. So I think they're trying to do a lot of things to incentivize tourism again. And I feel like it's a bad look when all these stories and videos go viral of people being told no foreigners in the club. It makes you not want to go to this country if you know they're not going to welcome you, you know? And it's like just they got rid of the KETA because in 2021 when I came here, I needed to get a KETA and it was new in 2021. No. In 2021, right after I left, a KETA was required for people who have like visa-free entry to Korea. So in 2022 when I came, I did need to get a KETA. It's valid for 2 years, and now you don't need that anymore. They have a lot more visas where they're trying to welcome tourists again, and they're trying to recover. And right now, like the won is down a lot. Like I just bought 2 boxes of contact lenses from Olens. Olens, love it. Not sponsored, should be, but I love Olens. And it came to be like 48,000 won total. And when I looked to see how much of that came out in US dollars, it was only like 28 bucks. The won value is down bad right now. So like I get at the end of the day, all of this is just a business, but I feel like they are starting to see that it's not a good business model. It's not a good look to exclude foreigners. Like it's better to have us involved if you're trying to make some money again.
Yeah.
I find like Hongdae and Itaewon, even right now at 31, really fucking lit. Like I didn't expect to like it. I thought I was gonna be like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna go for a few hours, but I'm leaving by like 3 a.m. I stayed out until like 6 every night that we went out so far.
What?
And I was having a lot of fun. Everything was a lot more inclusive. Everything was a lot more involved. Like I really like clubbing here these days, and I'll probably do it again this weekend. So yeah guys, if you made it this far in the video, now you're gonna see a bit of the clubbing footage that I captured from last weekend. On Patreon it's gonna be like the longer version because I don't have to worry about being copyright claimed. So
God,
if I'm
I
trying to
slept
talk and
so
there's
bad
music in the
last
background,
night.
that can get me copyright claimed. So I have to be really careful with how long each of these clips are so I don't get copyrighted. Don't worry, you guys are gonna see plenty here. Like I recorded a lot in Hongdae, but I'm gonna add Itaewon as like a bonus for the patrons. So I hope you guys enjoy the part 2 of this clubbing in Korea video. I've never done this format before. I don't know what this is like, but I wanted to sit down and explain like my thoughts and my feelings.
I have a kink in my
about
neck.
clubbing these days, and then show you a little bit of what it was like. So
Annyeong.
do it. Clip. Vlog footage. Go. You want to hear something crazy? I woke up at like 1:30 p.m. and then I spent the whole day trying. I thought it was behind me still. Trying to finish this book because I got 2 days until Onyx Storm comes out. But yeah, guys, we're finally gonna do it. We're gonna do a clubbing vlog, and you guys are gonna come with me. So basically, last night we had an unsolicited night in Itaewon. So basically, this vlog will be a clubbing in Korea vlog, but it's gonna have to be a bit censored because of the music and the copyright and stuff. We need to get ready. It's just weird. I've literally been in bed all day and sleep all day, and we're about to just do the same thing we did last night again tonight. So let's go.
A few moments later.
I need to get like a shot of the cheese stretching. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
No, that looks so yummy. Y'all, I heard in Japan, like when you stop at a restaurant out in Japan, they give you a time limit on how long you can sit and eat, which is like less than 10 minutes. So you have less than 10 minutes to eat your food and get out because other people waiting. That's crazy, right? And unlike in the US, you cannot tip your waiter. You cannot tip. Tipping is frowned upon. I did not know that. They take tipping a little offensive. Oh, listen, Korean nightlife looks so much fun. Wow.
And thus concludes another night of clubbing in Korea.
That was
It's
so
7:07.
fun.
I got so lucky with the Swedish
Hiya,
taxi driver because
Jabori.
this time of
Thank
night,
you. Welcome,
everybody's either reserving them because
welcome.
they have a Korean phone number and they're allowed to do that, or they're going up to a taxi driver saying where they want to go, and the
Hope
taxi
you're
driver's
having
like,
an
oh,
oh,
it's
love you
50,000
too.
won.
Hope
Oh,
you're
it's
having a
30,000
happy new
won,
year
but
so
actually more than
far.
what it should cost. So I said, I'm
You're
gonna
so
walk away from the
sweet. Thank
chaos
you.
and try to find a little taxi. And I went to the busy street heading in the direction I needed to go, hoping to flag one down. And I saw like a taxi driver filling up his gas tank, but I saw it just said Seoul, and where I'm at is technically outside of Seoul, so I was like, I don't think he's even gonna take me. I wasn't even gonna bother asking. So I'm just standing there shivering on the corner, and then he goes, oh, like, do you need a taxi? And I was like, eh? And he said, do you need a taxi? And I was like, yes. And I told him my location. He's like, oh yeah, come on in. I was like, oh thank God. I was like, oh come stop me now, don't you? He's like, I go. And he like turned up the heat for me. He's like, oh you must be so cold.
Oh.
I'm about to shower and sleep. This is where I need to edit and film and do my hair. And yeah, forgot about this. There was this Korean girl who gave us.
Y'all, I promised myself I need to do better on YouTube, but it's rough out here. I'm not a vlogger. It's rough.
If you enjoyed this video, please
I'm
don't
not a
forget to
vlogger.
subscribe,
It's different
leave
when
a
you're a
like for the
vlogger on
engagement, leave a
YouTube.
comment for
You
the
go
watch if you don't know
places
what
and
to
you
say.
vlog
Give
and
me
just
your thoughts
upload.
on clubbing in Korea and like their relationship with foreigners, if you think it's getting better or worse, what you've heard. I'm very curious to know because so far I feel like Korea is better than I remember it. Also, quick reminder, story time coming out in a few days. So if you miss the story times, that's coming. And if you want to see some, don't forget the playlist about to pop up on the end screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.
Annyeong. I enjoyed this so much. Let's see. I really enjoyed this episode. Let me leave a comment. Yes, y'all, I'm on YouTube and I still listen to my favorite YouTuber. Oh my goodness, I so enjoyed this a lot. I have to leave a comment. I so enjoyed this. Okay, let's see. I think she has one more vlog out. Oh, 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 oh.
Sorry. Getting a little bit emotional there.
Diana.
Quite hard to read. It's fucking bullying. I'm not even
Hi,
gonna lie, I'm really
Saida.
sorry, because
Thank
it's me, I'm
you.
actually getting really annoyed.
Girl, it is 2025. Depressed? No way. Get up and brush that off, ma'am. No time to be depressed this year. The year's too new for that. Saida, hello, hello.
me to read it out in my next video.
Listen, I am tired. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell. Like, my eyes are like red. I'm tired. But I'm pushing through, trying to get my energy up. But girl, there's nothing right now in life that would make me depressed about anything. I need money. I need money, but I'm not depressed about money. So I hope it's not a story about your friends making you depressed or ex-boyfriend, because girl, there's so much more to life than that.
I met this girl my 8th grade year of high school. We'll call her Sasha. She was outgoing and I was shy and introverted. We were having an end of year test. At the time, I had the answer code because my cousin took the test the year prior. So I gave out all the answers. After the test, Sasha came over to thank me and we became friends. We were inseparable ever since. Throughout high school, I had no issues with Sasha. Everything seemed really cool. We could talk on the phone for hours and hours. It was good vibes. Then it was time to graduate. I got accepted into a fashion school in California and she got accepted into a college in Ohio, which is huge.
Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And today we're going to look at 3 stories that demonstrate that. But before we get into those stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you come to the right place because that's all we do. And we upload.
How old are you, Haya?
So if that's of interest to you, please mail the like button birthday card. But make sure you booby trap it with a glitter bomb. Also, please subscribe.
Saida, I asked the same thing. How old are you?
So you don't miss any of our weekly updates. Okay, let's get into today's stories. One day in March of 2012, a 5-year-old girl named Maria sat on the floor of her kitchen.
The two of you are perfect to be friends.
And watching her aunt cook some stew. An empada is very similar to the empanada in that it is a pie filled with meat. But the empada is the Brazilian version of that pie. Maria's family was actually known for their cooking, specifically their empadas. In fact, at this very moment, Maria's mother was out selling their famous empadas on street corners and in bars and local restaurants. Now, the family got by okay this way, but despite their notoriety around these empadas, they really wanted more. They wanted their family name to be respected and powerful.
You guys could be BFFs.
Maria's family basically worked 24/7, not just on making empadas, but basically in looking for ways to kind of grow and expand the family name. In fact, while Maria was sitting on the kitchen floor, she could hear her father in the other room working. And the reason she knew he was working is because periodically she could hear him yell out with excitement. He was basically sitting there coming up with ideas of how he could make the family name even bigger and better. And when he had a good idea, he would shout out and be like, "Oh, I found it!" And in addition to constantly sort of brainstorming for ideas of how to become rich and powerful, Maria's father
you guys should exchange social medias so you all can talk.
Another thing that would kind of ratchet their family up the social hierarchy. But because Maria's mother and father and basically everybody in her family were so completely immersed in work all the time, it meant they didn't really pay much attention to her. And so most of the time, Maria was just kind of on her own, usually playing in the kitchen or playing in the backyard. Just then, the front door opened and in walked Maria's mother. She was grinning ear to ear, not only because she now had an empty tray, meaning she'd sold all her empadas, but also she had brought someone along that she was really excited to introduce to Maria. Maria's mom stepped all the way into the kitchen, and right behind her was this young woman. And Maria's mother pointed at this young woman and then gestured for Maria to come over and say hi. She told Maria that this young woman wants to become her new nanny. So you guys can play together all the time while me and your father are out doing our work. Maria stood up and gave a shy smile to the young woman, but she wasn't sold that this woman actually would become her nanny. Because in the past, there had been other women who had come by to be her nanny, and it didn't seem to last very long. And so Maria was not getting her hopes up. Still, Maria wanted to be friendly, so she walked over and, as a gesture of goodwill, she handed this woman her half-eaten empada. And the young woman took the empada and laughed and said, "Thank you." After that, Maria's mother told her to head on out back and go play by herself for a bit, while she and this new nanny hammered out the details of her new job. And she told Maria that as soon as they were done, the new nanny would come outside and join her, and they could play together. And so Maria, who was always very obedient, did as she was told, and she headed out back and entertained herself. And the whole time, as she's just kicking rocks around and pulling grass up and just kind of doing what kids do,
What?
she kept
What
looking
happened?
back at the house, waiting for the nanny to come outside. But she didn't. And after a whole hour had passed by, and still this new nanny had not come outside, Maria felt really bored. So she went inside to go look for her. A month later, Maria was out in her backyard.
What happened, you
playing by herself
guys?
like
What's going
usual,
on here?
when she heard a commotion happening inside of her house. She looked over at the house and couldn't really tell what was going on. And then she heard the sound of her mother and her father.
What's going
and her
on?
aunt
What's
raising their
happening?
voices like they were fighting with somebody. And then all of a sudden, these uniformed police officers came charging out the back door towards Maria. One of the officers came right up to her and asked her what her name was. And Maria was so scared, remember she's 5 years old here, that she didn't even know what to say. So she just stood there staring, being totally terrified. She had no idea what was going on. But, as these police officers would soon tell her, it turned
What
out
happened? That went left like quick. That went so left. Like, what happened? Let me scroll up. What happened? Say that I would love to have a friend. My friend, yeah, sure, how old?
In
11.
reality, those three people were
Okay.
not related to
Okay,
Maria.
cool.
They were instead members of
Okay.
a cult
I
called
know
the Cartel
this
Sect.
but
And all these three cult members
do
cared
you
about
have
was
anything
impressing the members of the cult. When they
I
thought
don't
about,
have
making it big, their
what?
so-called family name becoming bigger and more
Okay.
powerful, that was all in relationship to the Cartel
What?
Sect. They
That
wanted the
went
members
left
of this
like
cult
really
to look at them
fast.
as the most powerful and important members of that cult.
That
And the
was
way they tried to do
weird.
that was by performing the duties of this cult to the best of their abilities, better than anybody else in the
That
cult.
went
And so
so
what did this
weird,
cartel do?
Jabari. Like,
Well,
what
the
happened?
purpose of the cartel sect
That
was to
blew my
eliminate
mind
women
reading
they
that.
deemed unclean in order to reduce and purify the
Maybe
population.
somebody.
And Maria's family, the mother, the father, and the aunt, had become very well versed at doing this. All those nannies that
Whoa.
came around to see Maria, well, the reason they kept vanishing
Yeah, I
is because
saw
shortly
that.
after
Like,
the
that's
mother, the
so
father, and the aunt
weird.
introduced them to Maria and said, "Oh, she's going to be your new nanny," they would shoo Maria out into the backyard, and then they would murder the
That
nanny
went
because this
so
person was
left.
too
Like,
unclean.
what the hell?
They would cut their throats and stab them to death. But that wasn't all. That wasn't
I don't
enough
think that's
cleansing.
a child.
After they murdered these women, they would then butcher
I
them
think that's
and
somebody.
stuff the human meat into their famous empadas and sell them to the people in town. They literally
I don't think
feed
that's a
people in the
child.
city human meat. But the cult,
That is not a
the
child.
cannibalism, and the murders were not actually the biggest shock of the story. The biggest shock of the story
I
was
had to
actually
block
the
that
real
person.
identity
That
of little 5-year-old
someone's
Maria. She
pretending
was actually
to
the daughter of the very
be
first
11.
victim
No
of the
way, that's a
cartel
child.
sect. The mother, along with Maria, 3.5 years earlier, when Maria was just a year and a half, they had been lured to this very house where her mother
I
was
blocked it.
murdered right in front of Maria. And then after her mother was killed, they cooked her mother and fed pieces of the mother to
Yeah,
Maria.
I don't
Ever
think that
since,
was a
they had
child.
just kept Maria and treated her like she was a member of the family, basically turning her in.
That was too weird. I know, I read the whole thing. You just asked for her number or their number and they started to freak out. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. That was not an 11-year-old. Yeah. That was weird. I think there's like a piece of egg white. Yeah, that was too weird. It is 6:06 here. Where are you? What's your location? Like, what country or state are you in? Not your exact directions. Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you, like, the majority of people that I have view my page are kids, and I can tell you that there are a lot of weirdos that come across my page. Happy birthday, Presley. There's a lot of weirdos that come across my page often, but I did not expect someone to pretend to be a child. Well, they do that. I'm not saying they don't, but to pretend to be a child is just weird. Or to pretend to be a nice person and you're not. Yeah, you know, if you're not a nice person, it'll only be a little while before you show who you really are. And it took nothing for him or her to show who they really are. Like, it's crazy. That did not take long at all. It's like a switch flip. Like, wow. I only have 2 needles left. Yeah, I get a lot of weirdos, like perverted weirdos, but I do get a lot of younger crowd. Like, I get a lot of teenagers, and I get like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. I get like 8-year-olds, little kids coming here. Yeah. But, and I was saying, Jabari, you have to be strong to maneuver through this world. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I tell her all the time, you have to be strong. You cannot be depressed over people. You have to be happy for you, for yourself, for your insanity, for your mind, your thoughts. You controlled all of that. So don't let nobody take that power from you, okay? And I tell my kid all the time, you have that power. Right now, I'm fighting like this I have this tired feeling, and right now I just want to turn this camera off and go roll up in my bed because it's cold. But I'm here, I'm trying, right? I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to fight this sleepy feeling that I'm feeling, because I can feel my eyes. I feel my eyes, like my eyes are gonna close. That's how I feel. And eating that cake did not help. Eating that cake did not help. But I'm trying. I promised myself I want to I have my number, but I can only iMessage or regular text. I don't have I don't have WhatsApp or other apps. It's my business phone, so I don't have other apps on there. I only have iMessage, and I can't even see because I'm on it right now talking to you. I have iMessage, just my socials, WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, but I can text for sure. You want to text me? Let me write it down so you can text me. Take a screenshot. And when you screenshot it, you gotta flip it so the numbers go the right way. Just flip it so it goes the right way and you'll see the correct numbers. Gosh, I have a nail appointment tomorrow. I cannot wait to take these off. I am sick of nails. Okay. I am sick of nails, okay? You can, oh, Marissa, I was telling Jabori she can text me. Like whenever she feels bored, she can just shoot me a text.
To an unwitting cannibal. The existence of the cult and their hideous murders were ultimately discovered after they used one of the credit cards of their victims sometime in the spring of 2012. That's when all the cops rushed into the backyard and confronted Maria. George, Isabel, and Bruna, Maria's fake family, were convicted of 3 murders, including the murder of Maria's real mother, and they are currently serving what amounts to life sentences in Brazil. Police believe the actual number, the existence of the cult, and where her mother was, and stuff the human members of this cult to look at them as the most okay this way. But despite their notoriety around these empadas,
My email.
they wanted more. They wanted their family name to be respected.
Okay, my email is basically my handle. So it's Sewn Seamlessly at iCloud.com. Hi, Sunset. Hello, Marissa. Hello, hello. Sunset. Hello, hello, Marissa. Thank you so much for coming in. Sewn Seamlessly at iCloud.com.
How he could make the family name even bigger and better, and when he had a good idea, he would shout out and be like, "Oh, I found it!" And in addition to constantly sort of brainstorming for ideas of how to become rich and powerful, Maria's father also was an author. He was writing a book. He was convinced it was going to be another thing that would kind of ratchet their family up the social hierarchy. But because Maria's mother and father basically,
all right, y'all, I have to go for a little bit, so I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry, I do not know how to do that. It doesn't show me where I can write, but if you leave a comment after I get off, I'll write it in a comment. But I'll be back probably tomorrow.
that she was really excited.
I'm too tired to come back today.
Maria's mom stepped all the way into the
But
kitchen, right behind
thank you
her was
everyone
this
for
young woman.
joining my
And
live.
Maria's mother
It
pointed at
is
this young
Sewn
woman,
Seamlessly
gestured for Maria
at
to go over and say
iCloud.com.
hi. She told Maria that this young woman wants to become her new nanny, so you guys can play together.
I don't know
all the time
how to
while
type
being
it.
the
I'm
father
sorry.
around doing her work. Maria stood up and gave a shy smile to the young woman, but she wasn't sold that this woman actually.
Thank you, Marissa. I
Because
appreciate
in the
you
past,
so
there had been
much.
other
Thank
women who had come
you.
by to be her nanny, and
All
it didn't seem to
right.
last very
I'll
long.
look
So Maria
forward
was
to
not
it.
getting her hopes up. Still,
I'll see you
Maria wanted to
later
be
next
friendly,
time.
so
Bye,
she walked over and, as
Jabori.
a gesture of
Bye.
goodwill, she handed
Bye
this woman her
bye. See you
half-eaten
guys.
empanada. And the young woman took the
Bye.
empanada and laughed.
Love you
Saying, "Thank
too.
you." After that,
Bye.
Maria's mother told her to head on out back and go play